What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what really prompted SoFi to go as high as it did today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, SoFi did have a pretty phenomenal day, went up 3.69%. 42.5 million shares being traded, 41.04 is the average. These are all the transactions that did occur on the dark pool above $100,000. So a lot of transactions. Dark pool is often enough linked to shorting. And then these are all the transactions right here that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. After hours, there seems to be quite a lot of big transactions, but majority of these transactions are surprisingly sells. So I'm sure some of you might be wondering, well, if large or big money was selling out, why the hell did SoFi go up? And that is simply because of algorithmic trading. And so you can kind of see that based on the barcoding right here. And algorithmic trading was really propelling a lot of growth stocks higher because of this. So CPI came out better than anticipated, 2.5 versus the 2.6. That's on a year-over-year basis. Came in flat for the month-over-month, but this is kind of what the market wanted, at least on a bare minimum. So in reality, if it would have been a little bit lower, then you might have had a stronger likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. But given the circumstances of the data that came out today, for the September 18th meeting, you have a 85% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. For the November 7th, now you have a strong likelihood of a 50. And a lot of analysts are starting to say that in 2024, you might have one whole full percentage cut. So that would mean, obviously by the process of elimination, that for the December 18th, there would be a 25 basis point cut for that. So yeah, I think in reality, that is why algorithmic trading was really propelling not just SoFi, but a lot of growth stocks higher, because even looking at Lucid, I cover them, very similar chart to SoFi and many other stocks as well, and there was no actual news for Lucid or anything like that, so something to kind of consider. I like to bring up where the volume is derived from. But shorts were really trying to double down and suppress SoFi once again, so they did increase 4.73 million shares. 18.45% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 193.12 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 0.74%, and then utilization is 47.31. And this right here just happened. So when I was preparing for this video, at the time, it was only, they were increasing around 900,000. So it did jump from 900,000 to 4.73 million. And it is fair to assume that a lot of these large transactions right here are shorts, possibly, because again, the way shorts increase is they sell first and then they buy, and all these transactions right here are selling. So clearly 9.53, 1.1, and whatever else, you guys can see it right there, are all shorts. So kind of interesting point. Once again, shorts have been really still lingering quite a lot with SoFi. So hopefully with good PPI and initial jobless claims coming out tomorrow, that might be the big FU to shorts, causing them to kind of leave. So these are all some of the transactions, or sorry, data points coming out tomorrow that the market is once again going to digest and translate to, once again, monetary policy. Can't even speak right now, but yeah, you guys get the viewpoint of what I'm saying. But yeah, all in all, aside from that, no actual news from SoFi, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. There was a new analyst rating. No price target was given, but popping over to IBKR, so there was a new initiated coverage by Seaport Bill, who has a 61% success rating. So they just gave a hold rating, but still, I think that's kind of a good thing. Like I've stated in previous videos, given SoFi's positive momentum, I do anticipate this asshole right here, David, who has a 43% success rating, to reiterate his crappy price target of $4, because he always does it very strategically to kill momentum, and it's been a while since we've heard from him, so just kind of stay tuned for that. Aside from that, though, that's basically it coming from analysts for SoFi today. Looking at options, kind of low dollar value today in comparison to what it was over this last week, but 3.97 million in calls, 910 in puts. 53% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish, but with shorts increasing, I'm sure some of that was linked to just hedging and stuff like that. these are some of the call options that were purchased. Like I've said time and time again, the first kind of chain right here, you do see that usually hedging. So there is a lot of optimism aside from that, more so for it to be above $8 next week. This is looking at the open interest though. So right now around 9,000 at that $7 strike price, 20,000 at 750, 22,000 at the 8. So if SoFi does continue this good momentum, you might see it struggle a little bit at 750 or possibly 8, but we'll just have to wait and see whether this positive momentum does carry forward into the next several trading days, and plus what the data points are saying. September 20th, that will be a key one to watch for because that is a monthly chain. Aside from that, with it closing at $7.31, it is trading between these 2 points right here, the S1 and the pivot, very wide gaps. 656 is going to be the strong support, 743 will be that next strong resistance. I'm looking at the 1-day chart on the side note, but if you're kind of moving over to the 4-hour, just more closer support and resistance, $7.28 will be the strong support, and then 767. So kind of just watch out for those. On the actual chart itself, it was wanting to break into the higher percentile, not really enough there, so it kind of got stopped. I'll move it over just so you guys can see. But luckily enough, it did fight and it was able to get and stay above that 50-day moving average. So a lot is going on with SoFi behind the scenes. Even yesterday when I did my video when it was getting massacred, it recovered fairly well, and even today is showing a lot of good strength. On stochastic though, you do see a nice bullish deviation. It is considered rather oversold at 14, and number of retail investors are getting in. So all in all, this is a quick overview of a lot of the data points, what really happened with SoFi. And I feel like a lot of the data is relatively cautiously optimistic, with the exception of these little fuckers over here, shorts, just continuing to do what they do. Pardon my French again. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Did you buy today? Did you sell? Have you guys been dabbling with options? And do you think that this momentum is going to carry forward into the next 2 days? So what's your thoughts on all of that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.